The class has chosen English teacher Dan Keown as the commencement address speaker. Mr. Keown.
Thank you. First, I'm not exactly sure what Mr. Lee is talking about. Dan Kelly, you should be very, very worried. You too, Ross Frazier. Peter Crofton. Not to be outdone by Stephanie Smith, I will also be doing my speech tonight without the aid of notes, and I will also be reciting it backwards. Watch how it's done, Stephanie. All right. Superintendent O'Neill, Principal Lee, Vice Principal Murphy, members of the school committee, proud grandparents, ecstatic parents, bored siblings, comatose cousins, aunts and uncles attending because their family showed up at your kid's graduation and there was really no way to get out of it. Friends, long-suffering faculty, staff, commencement speech aficionados, members of the foreign press, town historians, creepy weird guy in the third row, creepy weird guy's neighbor in the fifth row who is desperately hoping creepy weird guy will not notice him after this whole thing is over and strike up one of his long, aimless conversations about lawn fertilizer and the flat tax. Groundskeepers, it really looks good over there. The band, trumpet playing kid. Trumpet playing kid in the band who's not really playing the thing but merely holding it up to his lips and moving his fingers up and down. We are so on to you, kid. Bagpipers, bagpiper groupies. And last but not least, the living, breathing proof that miracles do indeed happen. The most honorable, most worthy, most almost graduated class of 2009. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you today. Just look at you all. Class of 2009. So happy, so excited, so young. So full of energy and hopes and dreams, grand aspirations, boundless possibilities. You remind us all of ourselves before the weight of the world crushed our spirits. And it is precisely for that reason that we hate you all so much. It has been a long, arduous road to get here. Arduous, that's a good word, isn't it? I did teach you that, Peter Crofton. All right, you get to keep your hair. You were supposed to learn that sophomore year. I'll be peppering my speech tonight with vocabulary words and literary terms. See if you can catch them. As I was saying, it has been a protracted, laborious, metaphorical thoroughfare that has led you to where you are tonight. And I have been there to watch you almost every step of the way. I have taught all but 4 of you at some point over the last 4 years. And many, many of you I have taught multiple times to your great misfortune. I have led you through scores of stirring short stories and poems. Did you hear the alliteration? I have introduced you to many of the great novels in our language, talked with you endlessly about symbolism, theme, tone, taught you enough polysyllabic verbiage to fool anyone into thinking you are erudite. Are you catching these vocabulary words, people? Okay, sure. I spent hours and hours giving you feedback on your essays and papers, shared with you my deep-seated fear of angry nuns. Oh. You never know, you never know. I took you by your sweaty little hands and guided you through over 1,200 years of British and American literary history. And for all of this, I have received 3 or 4 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. I don't drink coffee, kids. When did you ever see me drinking coffee? You drink the coffee. I pick up your cups. I've also received an occasional pile of leftover Christmas cookies from Elsa Keefe. And the honor of speaking before you tonight. I have been assured by a number of my colleagues that this is indeed an honor, but they clearly don't know you as well as I do. I am fully certain if Spencer Peterson had anything to do with it, that this is some sort of payback. Hey, before we go, let's make Mr. Kyoan write a long speech and give an uncomfortable oral presentation in front of several hundred people, and hopefully it will be atrocious, and we can all smugly guffaw at him at our post-graduation revels. Seriously, are you catching these vocab words? Regardless of all of that, I still feel inexplicably fond of you. You have been, in truth, an absolute joy to teach. It is hard to express how truly I mean that. Your intelligence, your curiosity, your kindness and caring, your enthusiasm, your wonderful humor have made me and my fellow teachers deeply happy to do what we do for a living. And for all I have endeavored to give you, you have without a doubt returned it tenfold. You will always have a profoundly special place in my heart, even you, Sean Golden. I couldn't give it up, Sean, this opportunity. Where are you? I got you. And it would do me good, before I bid you a tearful goodbye, for us to share one more educative moment together. So if you would be so kind as to rise. It's a good time to stretch anyway, right? Good. I'd like to take you back to your junior year. You remember that, right? If you would recall the words of the great American philosopher, Ralph Waldo Emerson, in his essay, Self-Reliance. His immortal exhortation for us to all have the courage to live life on our own terms as fearless individuals. Here are some famous passages you may remember. They were included in the SparkNotes summary, important quotations explained section. So they should be familiar. Trust thyself, every heart vibrates to that iron string. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Be yourself, no base imitator of another, but your best self. Listen to the inward voice and bravely obey that. If there is any lesson I hope you have heeded, it is Emerson's. So indulge me once again by making a sacred pact with me, okay? Let's all raise our right hands. Our right hands. Okay.